Hi, I'm Jason with Rainier Shade. In this video, I'm going to show you how to install our motorized small window awning. Our motorized small window awning can go up to 12 foot wide, 3/6 projection, and it's our semi-cassette system, so it's nice and concealed. So the first thing you're going to do when you get to the job site is you're going to open up your package and check the contents to make sure everything's there. What you're going to do is you're going to take your knife or scissors, cut right on this. You always use this hard cardboard corner board to make sure that you're being careful, not cutting into anything. Cutting these one at a time carefully. You can remove that corner board and it opens up these straps, and you're going to carefully cut in this top corner. Cut the rest of the straps. There's nothing in this upper corner, but you still want to make sure not to dig your blade in too far, just in case. Again, just one at a time, being careful not to cut too far. And once you get all the straps cut loose, you're going to open it up and check out the contents. All right, so now that you got your box opened up, you can check for your contents, of course. Your unit should be there, your arms, make sure they're there, and your brackets. And then any accessories, remotes that you might have ordered, make sure they're there. And then also you're going to want to check for damage, make sure, kind of go over it, make sure you don't see any holes in the plastic, any scratches in the powder coat. All right, so once you get everything opened up, you're going to do your layout. One thing I do want to note though is that before you head to your job site, always make sure you have all your hardware, the mounting screws and your ladders, everything you need there, because Rainier does not provide the screws to mount the brackets. So now that you've got this laid out, let's take a measurement. I'm going to measure the awning, compare it to the width of the opening. Generally speaking, you're going to measure the opening, and you're going to need to be at least 6 inches wider than that. So we've got that covered. You can actually be wider than the 6 inches, not a problem. As you can see here, we're going to be beyond by 16 inches each way. So then once you determine that's going to fit, then you're going to do the exact layout for your brackets. All right, so I marked out where the end of my awning is, and then now to determine where the brackets go, generally speaking, we like to see about 4 inches in. So I've made a mark 4 inches in, and then under the sill, I usually mark up 3 inches. So now I made a line here at the edge of the sill, made a mark at 3 inches, like I said, 4 inches in, and that's going to be the bottom of your bracket and then the center of your mounting bracket. Then you're going to take your mounting bracket and your screws. You're going to hold the bottom of your bracket even with your line. And you can screw that in right there. Make sure you get it just snug. And then make sure you plumb that up. I've already done a plumb line, so I'm going to go by my line. You can use a 6-inch level to make a nice line for yourself. And then put your second screw in. You're going to do that on both sides, and we're good to go. So once you've carefully unwrapped your awning and taken the plastic off, you're going to try to put your bolts in the channel. So you're going to remove this end cap right here, and then these bolts are going to slide right in this channel. There's one per bracket. In our case, we have 2 brackets. So you're going to slide them both in. One of them I'm going to slide on the other end. This one I'm going to leave here. And then we can put our cap back on, and it's ready to put in the brackets. All right, so now that your brackets are on the wall, you're ready to put the whole awning in the brackets. So one thing you're going to want to make sure is that your screws are to the left. Your brackets are slotted left, so make sure your screws are kind of slid both to the left of each bracket. So go ahead and lift it up. And what you're going to do is put it up there, and you're going to slide, make sure that the top of the bracket slides in, and then you're going to just slide it right down, snap it in. Should snap. Slide your bolt over. Tighten it up. Should take a 10 millimeter socket or wrench. Tighten those up. Both of them and you're good to go. All right, so now that you got your awning and the brackets, you're gonna mount your arms. In the installation instructions that should be included in your package, there is a diagram that shows how far down to mount your arms. So we're gonna go by that. Our arm is 2'6", so we're gonna measure down 24 7/8 inches off the bottom of the housing. So 24 7/8, make a mark, and that's gonna be our top hole. And then we gotta determine how far in from the edge. Every wall is different. If you're on any brick, you don't wanna be too close to the edge. A wood wall, there's a gap there. So usually, if you do an inch gap first, before your edge of your bracket, you can kind of line this up like this. You're gonna start there. Your top hole is gonna be here. Kind of mark that. You should be good. So I'm gonna go about there for mine. And take my screws. That should be the top of my bracket. And once you get that one in, you can actually lift this arm up here. About halfway, I use my shoulder because you don't want to pull up too high. If you get about halfway, then you can secure this bottom one. Make sure it's aligned and plumb. And your arm's mounted. All right, so now that your awning's on the wall and your arms are mounted, you're going to connect the arms to your front bar. So first thing you want to do is power it up. You want to get this in a position that your arms will attach. Ours is motorized, so I'm going to push the up and down to wake up the motor and marry it to the remote. If you're manual crank, you can just use the crank to do it. Now I'm going to hold the arm up here just to kind of see what's going to be easy for us to connect. So we're going to connect there. It slips right in here, like that. And you're going to take an Allen wrench, a little set screw right here, that we're going to tighten up. And you kind of eyeball with your window usually. Make sure it's in line. Tighten that up and it sets it to where it can't come out of your front bar. There you go. It's tight on both sides and your arms are attached. So once you've got your arms attached, the next thing you do is set all your limits and program it. You've already pushed up and down to program the motor to the remote. So now we're just going to actually find the lower and upper limit. I'm going to run it down. This thing will go all the way down. The design of a window awning is to cover up the window or be able to go halfway up. So this thing should be able to swing all the way down to about 150 degrees. Right about there. Make sure there's still tension on the arms so that it's got tension on the fabric. That's going to be your lower limit. So mine up, we'll set the lower limit. Should be running up on its own. It does not have an upper limit right now, so you're going to want to stop it before it gets to the top. So be aware of that. Once it gets near the top right here, stop it, and then just kind of fine tune it back into where we want the limit, which is right where the front bar sucks up against the roller tube. And set the upper limit there. You're going to push mine down. And you can finalize it anytime, so I push mine to stop it. To finalize it, you're going to push the my button until it jogs. And you're going to grab something to poke the back. I use an Allen wrench. And push the program button, and the limits are set. So now when you push it, it should go on its own. It is standard on a window awning to set a halfway point, because that's where a lot of people like to leave it. So I'm going to set a my limit right now for it. About at a 90 degree, maybe down just a hair. And then to set a my limit, what you're going to do is get to the halfway point, stop it, hold the my button down. After about 8 seconds, it jogs, and you set your my limit. And what that does is no matter what position it's in, you can push that my button, and it's going to go to that spot every time and stop it. So you've completed your installation, and it's time to clean up.